So hello everybody, Darren here, and for today's video, first of all what you're going to talk about is according to YouTube statistics. You can see that only 34% of people are subscribed to me, and 65% are not. So if you want to stick around, love my content, make sure to subscribe and like, and press that notification bell if you want more updates on the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and feel free to unsubscribe if you don't want to stick around, and it's free, so it'll help me all out. And YouTube sometimes glitches and makes you unsubscribe, so even if you think you subscribe, please check, it would be a huge pleasure. So if you're not, then make sure to subscribe. So let's get into the content, or let's get into the video. So guys, the title of this video is Top 10 Programming Languages that you should learn during quarantine. And yeah, we're gonna go through the top 10 programming languages. Maybe not as you see in this picture, there might be different programming languages, but I'll tell you what you should learn. It's my opinion, you can learn anything you want. I'm just giving you opinion because you can learn, and it'd be easier to make decisions if I give you only 10 choices, so you don't need to go through hundreds or thousands of programming languages. So now let's get to the statistics of what programming languages you should learn and which is the most used, so you can try to understand more about it. So let's get into that. So guys, as you see here, you can see the statistics of the most popular programming languages, and for 2020 I would state that Python is number 1, Java is number 2, JavaScript number 3, C Sharp's number 4, PHP is number 5, C++, and C is number 6, and I forgot what programming languages states are. I forgot about that, but that's number 7. I'm gonna go number by number. The statistics might be wrong for me. I might change it and optimize it a little bit, make it better. Objective C is at number 8, I guess. Swift is number 9. MATLAB is number 10. Java TypeScript is 10. And TypeScript's 11, and Ruby's 12. So yeah, I'll get to the statistics by number 1, why you should learn it. So what's this video about? Top 10 programming languages, why you should learn them, and what does it do for you. So let's get into that part of the video. So guys, number 10, R, the R programming language. So I'm going to explain what is it and why you should learn it. So let's get into the part of that now. So yeah, R programming. What is R, Yas? R is a programming language and a free software environment for statistical computing and graphics, supported by the R Foundation for Statistical Computing. The R language is widely used among statisticians and data miners for developing statistical software and data analysis. So yeah, it's just for developing statistical software and data analysis, and it would be very helpful maybe doing websites, making websites and statistical softwares like statistics like Matplotlib. That's for Python actually, but it's pretty much for that, just meeting for statistics. Maybe seen that Google, the statistics of Google, everything's gets made by R programming language. And yeah, and you might be asking me, is hard to learn? Well, R has a reputation of being hard to learn. It does. Some of that is due to the fact that it's ridiculously different from other analytics software. So yeah, it's like a very alien language. So why learn R? It's an open source language, cross-platform compatible, and more or less it's advanced statistical language, outstanding graphs, Flexible and fun, extremely comprehensive, vast community supports extensions relates to other languages. So that's why you should learn R. Now let's get into number 9. So move on, I guess. So guys, continuing on, we're at now the Scala programming language. So right now, what is Scala? Scala is a programming language. Scala is a general purpose programming language providing support for both object oriented programming and functional programming. The language has a strong static type system designed to be concise. Many of Scala's design decisions are aimed to address criticisms of Java. And what is Scala used for? I mean, it's used for functional programming and strong static systems. You have to go figure out what static systems. I'm not going to do that. How difficult is Scala? It's relatively easy to learn. I'm not kidding. That's what Google says. Is Scala a good language? Yes, it is. Can I learn Scala with Java? You can learn Scala with learning Java. So yeah, that was Scala. Um, I already told you what you can do with Scala. You already know what's the advantages there. So yeah, it's also an open source, and you can download it. I'll give you the description for everything what I say right now, where you can download every programming languages. Only that is for the you need the IDE. So that I covered in another video. That I'll explain it to you in another video. So let's get into the next programming language. So guys, moving on, we are now at C Sharp. C Sharp programming language. So what is C Sharp? C Sharp is a general purpose multi paradigm programming language encompassing strong typing, lexically scoped, imperative, declarative, functional, generic, object oriented, and component oriented programming disciplines. So, yeah, that's what's C Sharp. Basic on what you need to know. And who developed C Sharp? It's Microsoft. And yeah, Microsoft developed C Sharp. And what is C Sharp used? C Sharp is widely used as a game making such game making scripting. It's used for Unity and I guess Unreal Engine, I guess. So yeah, where can I program C Sharp? Yes, you can go try to program and execute it at Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code also. And yeah, so that's it for C Sharp. So let's get into another programming language. So guys, moving on, we're going to learn about the Swift programming language. Swift is a general purpose multi-paradigm compiled programming language developed by Apple Inc. for iOS, iPad OS, and macOS, watchOS, tvOS, and Linux. So pretty much you know where this is going. This is going into Apple on Linux. So Swift is designed to work with Apple's Cocoa Touch frameworks and the large body of existing Objective-C code written for Apple products. Why is Swift programming language used for? Well, it's a general purpose programming language like other languages. Develop It's pretty much for developing applications. So yeah. Is Swift hard to learn? No, it isn't really that hard to learn. Is Swift worth learning in 2020? Yes, it is. So yeah, that's Swift. That it was a very short topic, but Swift is a very small topic because I'm just explaining what is Swift about. So yeah, that's it for that. So let's move on to the next programming language. guys, moving on, go short for Golang. Golang, Golang programming language is made by Google Corporation, I guess. We just check it out. Yep. No, the developers are the Go authors or the Golang authors. So Go is a statically, oh my god, messing this up. Typed compiled programming language designed at Google by Robert Griesmer, Rob Pike, and Ken Thompson. If I'm not pronouncing the name correctly, please forgive me. Go is synthetically similar to C, but with memory safety, garbage collection, structural typing, and CSP style concurrency. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much Go. And yeah. So why should we learning Golang? Go Google's Golang this year, fastest growing language in 2020, multi-core usage, easy to maintain, trusted by larger companies. So yeah, now let's get into the next programming language. So guys, we are now at PHP programming language. We are at number 5. Yes, it's a milestone right now at number 5. So right now you'll be asking me what is PHP. PHP is a general purpose scripting language that is especially suited to web development. Web development you can learn while learning. This is an advantage. You can learn PHP, HTML, and JavaScript while learning that, but that's another topic. It was originally created by Danish-Canadian programmer Rasmus Lerdoff in 1994. The PHP reference implementation is now produced by the PHP group. Implementation language primarily C, and some components are C++. So, what does PHP stand for? It stands for Personal Homepage Tools. Yeah, bet you didn't know that. Yeah. Is PHP a front end or back end? PHP is a back end development language only. So yeah, that was PHP. So let's move on to the next programming language, because I don't want to waste your time. I just want to explain the languages and based on your opinion what language you want to learn. So yeah, moving on. So now guys, you're moving on to C++. What is C++, you might ask me. So yeah, C++ is a general purpose programming language just like other programming languages created by Bams Trustrup as an extension of the C programming language or C with classes. And the preview release is C++ 20 and learn C++ programming. You want to learn it? I've actually learned based on my experience. What? How is it? Is it hard? No, it's not. You want to learn basics? It's easy. It took me 1 week, but you must at least have a basic understanding of programming to learn it. And what is programming language used for? It is a powerful general purpose programming language. And can I write C in C++? Well, with C++, all C++ compilers also support C. So yeah. Is C++ worth learning in 2020? Yes, unless you only do web development. So yeah, but you can also use it for other purposes as extra knowledge if you want to learn, because it also uses in Unreal Engine game development. So yeah, moving on to the third programming language. So let's go to another programming language, I guess. Guys, so moving on, we're gonna talk about JavaScript. What is JavaScript, what it's used for, and yeah. So JavaScript is also a programming language, and remember, I'll give you a link on the description below where you can find all this information. JavaScript, often abbreviated as JS, or they say Node.js, is a programming language that conforms to the ECMA script, ECMA script. specification. JavaScript is high level. Is a high level, often just-in-time compiled and multi-paradigm. Is it has curly bracket syntax, just like C++, based on my personal experience. Dynamic typing, prototype-based object orientation, and first-class functions. So yeah, this deserves number 3. Remember, this deserves number. I know this might deserve number 2 or even number 1, but no, they are better. You know, other languages are still growing, but JavaScript is one of the highest growing languages. It was number 1 in 2019, but other languages also took over. So yeah, uh, you can turn on JavaScript also to go to your settings and then search JavaScript and then turn on web development, actually development of JavaScript. So yeah, that's pretty much. Is JavaScript hard to learn? It JavaScript is so hard to learn because it's an achronos, asynchronous programming language. It's also single threaded, so if you want, you can try to do it, but it will take you some time. You just need patience, like slow and steady wins the race. So moving on to the second programming language, I guess. So guys, I've heard these stories of this programming language. Is by far the hardest programming language that I've heard before. But once you learn it, you'll start to enjoy it. But I haven't learned it at all yet before, so it is Java. And Java is a general purpose programming language that is class based, object oriented, and designed to have a few implementation dependencies as possible. Developer is the Oracle Corporation at AL. Yeah. Designed by James Gosling. God darn it. First appeared in March 23, 1995. That was around 25 years ago. And what is Java used for? It can be used to create complex applications, as Java is the most used programming languages. And why did I put this in number 1? You'll see what's going to come up in number 1. And if before you're watching this, just guess what's number 1. And yeah, next question is Java hard to learn? Well, Java, the simple answer is that yes, it can be tricky. As you learn Java programming, you'll encounter some simple concepts like variables, function, but there are also more abstract, complex ones like objects, bringing inheritance and polymorphism that can be difficult to understand. So for those all game fans out there, you can also use Java in Minecraft. I just read about this in Google. So you can use Paperspick or MC because Minecraft's made out of Java Edition. If you're using Java Edition, you can use Paperspick or MC to code a plugin with Java, and you might need to use Eclipse, one of the latest IDEs for Java, and you can program anything you want to the game as a plugin to the game. So yeah, just for a little tip for those fans there, and you know Java. So yeah, that's all for Java right now. Moving on to the number 1 programming language. So guys, moving on to the number 1 programming language that has been the most used in 2020 and the most growing programming language, Python. Even though it's in Wikipedia it says high level programming language, it's very, very, very easy to learn. It took me 4 months to learn the basics of Python. You know, compared to Java, that's very easy. and the latest release is the 3.85 release for Python. I'll give you the link in the description. Even I have not even downloaded 3.85, so I might try to download 3.85 there. And um, Python supports Linux, macOS, Windows Vista, and newer and more, many more. So yeah, um, is Python easy to learn? Yes, Python is very easy. It's like an English mixed with programming. Can I learn Python in a month? Yes, you can. You definitely can. Yeah. Yeah, you can even learn Python. You can on your own. So yeah, benefits of Python I've explained to you in another video, which I've linked it in the description below, which I've taught you Python. So that was pretty much it. And because since I've taught you Python, there's no point of telling you the same thing over and over again. So yeah, that was it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I haven't got to the end part. So yeah, let me just get to the end part now, I guess.